judge strictly off of looks instead of the content of a person's character. Like, say for instance, if you saw me out in public with a girl like this, you might say I have standards. But the thing that you don't know is, I gotta wake up to this, nigga, god damn. But look, see, does that make my standards any lower? Now that what if I find this more attractive? What if this girl had the absolute best personality I've ever encountered in my life? Who are you to say that I have low standards just because of how she looks? Nigga, I know my girl be going through it, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm ugly as shit, nigga. I ain't going front. I know she lowered her standards just to be with me. Because, nigga, like, before she got with me, the niggas that she posted as her man crush Mondays were Usher and Trey Songz. And then she settled for this. Nigga, you know damn well she lowered her standards for me. Nigga, I'm ugly as a motherfucker. Nah, but in all seriousness though, this is the reason why a lot of content creators don't post their significant others, because they're going to be judged just like I'm Dante and his wife. We're not going to find the same things attractive. You know what I'm saying? Like, say for instance with me, I'm attracted to an ass like this. And I'm no less attracted to it knowing that this is a stomach. If anything, it makes me more attracted to it. You know why? Because I like big women. Who are you to tell me that I have low standards because I like fat bitches? That's why there's so many closet BBW lovers, just because niggas are scared to be judged by society for their love for big women. Look, what I want y'all to take from this video is to embrace your own standards. Don't let anyone else's opinion alter your personal standards.
Of the night, and this is always one of the fucking craziest videos to actually do. We're gonna be doing a Coach Red Pill video, and this one is actually, oh wow, this motherfucking is shaved, and this is only since fucking 2000, August 2000 and August 24th 2020. And god, oh god, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be interesting. I'm gonna let the title card come up and we're gonna hear this motherfucker speak.
The new series that I'm going to be doing, because it seems to me that smart guys get into an awful lot of trouble and they don't even realize it. I certainly didn't when I was growing up, and I don't consider myself that smart, but I'm smart enough, I suppose. And
Coach Red Pill, Coach motherfucking Red Pill. And with doing Coach Red Pill, I saw this video and I just like, why, dog? Like, if you look at it, Trouble with Being Smart Part 1, something that Coach Red Pill obviously has no experience with. By his own admission, he says he's not that smart, but he has that smug ass attitude and grin on his fucking face. Fuck this dude. Fuck this dude in particular. But let's continue.
I stumbled across a few lessons that I learned along the way that I figure that you would enjoy and make use of. So here goes. This is a series. It's called The Trouble with Being Smart.
Dude, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Like, seriously? And, like, if I ever get monetized, this video has definitely gone into not being monetized, but, like, for real. All right, let's see what he thinks the trouble with being smart is.
Before I go into the first part, okay, you have to keep in mind when I talk about smart what I'm referring to, okay? I'm not.
Let's see. The guy who hates the elites and the guy who just feels like Women always lie, and men love more romantically. I don't believe. Fuck. Anyway, let's go.
I'm not talking about merely intelligent. There are lots of very intelligent people, but I've noticed something, that there's a difference between people who are very intelligent and people who are very intelligent and sort of like pay attention to reality. There are a lot of very intelligent people.
Okay. So we're taking bets on this one. How many people want to bet that pay attention to reality means that, you know, don't believe childish shit, or like literally it's right-winger code for believe what I think you should believe in and be smart? How many people really want to bet that's all that he fucking means? Because I can tell you this, that's all he fucking means. But let's continue.
Who very easily fall sway to some ideology, some a priori view of the world that doesn't necessarily conform to reality. These people are not smart. They might be very intelligent, have very high IQ points, but they're not smart because they're not paying attention to what's around them. They're paying attention to an idea, an ideology, and that's something that a lot of very intelligent people fall prey to.
So his thing is, he believes that specifically, unless you believe that certain things are axiomatic, that they are just the way things are, you're not smart because you're not paying attention. How? Things may be axiomatic to you, things may be foundational to you, but most of the shit that's like that is like your opinion, man. But let's continue.
They fall prey to a beautiful and very symmetrical and organized way of looking at the world that doesn't necessarily conform to reality. That's the whole point of socialism, communism. It's a beautiful...
Wait, no, that's... Oh my God. That's not how communism and socialism work. Oh my God. Like, literally, the whole point of socialism is more social power in the hands of more power in the hands of people and of society, where motherfuckers actually don't just fall to some strict hierarchical power and just say, oh, just bow down and, you know, suck penises just because that's how things used to be. Like, no. Socialism is actually a critique on a society where there is unfair power. And communism is the more extreme version of where there are no hierarchical power structures. It's that libertarian society which you guys claim to want, but you really want a fucking feudalistic / warlord society. But, you know, communism is no state. It's just communities. Like, I don't understand how motherfuckers just can't understand that shit. But let's continue.
Beautiful way to look at the world that is totally wrong. That's why communist and socialist societies wind up killing their own citizens, for crying out loud. You see what I'm saying here?
Oh, it's not like capitalism doesn't kill its own citizens. We have more than 200,000 dead right now because a motherfucker was trying to be so capitalistic, right? Right? And that number is in addition to the shit that, you know, people die from shit like poverty or poor health conditions. You know, in addition to that, because capitalist societies are best because, you know, they don't kill their citizens over some needless, you know, dick measuring contest over money. You know, that's not a thing that happens.
No, I'm not talking about merely intelligent. I'm talking about intelligent plus. Intelligent, paying attention to reality, to objective reality, empiric reality. That's the person I'm referring to when I talk about smart. Now that we've defined that, let's move on. The first problem with smart guys, is that they are usually way ahead.
Now, that emphasis on guys wasn't a mistake. As you can see, this motherfucker does like 3,000 edits per video. He's literally just said guys because, you know, reasons and women aren't smart or something, like, or they're too smart for men and that's why they can trick men. Like, yeah, I've cracked the red pill code. Let's continue.
Of everybody else. and they don't realize it. They don't realize that they are running way ahead of the pack, that they have figured things out long before the pack has. And so they're sort of like impatient and sort of like tearing at their hair because they assume that everybody is as smart as them. That's something that took me a long time to realize.
You're right, Coach Red Pill, Gonzalo, Laura. When people assume that somebody has their same intelligence levels, it gives them a smugness. You know, like how you assume that you are somewhat in any ballpark, in any fucking state, county, or continent that you're smart. We all know that it's bullshit. But let's continue.
Very smart guys don't understand that most other people are nowhere near as smart. Smart guys can be playing chess and see 3, 4, 5 moves ahead, whereas regular people barely see 1 move ahead. And so one of the big problems with smart guys is that they are so far ahead of everybody else that they leave everyone behind and alienate everyone else. Yeah, because the smart guy starts to say, well, how come you don't realize this? This is so obvious. You know, it's here, 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 and here. It's so obvious. Why don't you realize it? And the smart guy, on the one hand, overwhelms the normies. And on the other hand, the smart guy tends to think that the normie is...
Did he unironically use the term normie? Like, for real? Like, I don't know what's going on with Coach Red Pill's head, but this motherfucker literally thinks that, like, yeah, nailed it because I'm smart. Nailed it. Me am smart. Like, fuck. Let's continue.
Is playing some game. You know, it gets very conspiratorial with the smart guy because, you know, too many IQ points and they rev up a little bit too much. And so he starts looking at these normies who are so far behind and not understanding the implications of some action today and how the implication of those actions today, tomorrow, will wreak havoc.
All right. So, God, I have to break them up. Like, one, because, like, oh, God, I've only done like 4 minutes of this fucking video. God damn. Okay. So I understand a little bit of what he's saying, and like within all great piles of bullshit, there's some kernel grain of truth. So if you have a particular intelligence in one motherfucking area, it's really easy for you to be dismissive of somebody else's lack of intelligence in that same area. But the problem is, no one is super intelligent in all fucking areas. It's just not a thing. It doesn't happen. And for this emotionally stunted man-child who is pissed off that he thinks he fancies himself so fucking smart that, yes, of course I'm smart, of course I'm intelligent, and if you don't fucking understand that, then you're fucking up. Like, yeah, of course, I get that shit. But, dog, you're not the motherfucking brightest motherfucking bulb in the motherfucking light field or some shit. I lost the metaphor. But let's continue.
The normie doesn't see this, the smart guy does, but the smart guy doesn't realize that the normie doesn't see this and assumes that the normie is doing this on purpose, that the normie wants this nightmare havoc to occur, you know, the day after tomorrow, as it were. You see? It's like a weird conspiracy theory kind of thing, but in quotidian life.
God, does he know what I'm going to say? That he comes up with this weird ass conspiracy theory that, you know, maybe is bullshit, but he's so smart. He's playing fourth dimensional chess that, like, you can't see the fact that, yeah, if you believe that he's too smart, that he doesn't understand, and he's too smart that you don't understand it, like, yeah, fourth dimensional chess, people. But let's continue.
Yeah, that happens all the time. You know, how many times have you talked to some guy, a smart guy, and he's like, this is so obvious what's going to happen. Why doesn't everybody else realize this? Everybody else must be getting some benefit out of it. That's...
Wait. I thought he was doing this for the smart people in his audience. But did he just low-key call his audience stupid? What is that, like 1,000% of him thinking that his audience is fucking stupid? Like, for real. Who am I kidding? Of course his audience is stupid because they listen to him, or you're a masochist like me that tries to dissect the shit in this. Yeah, let's continue.
That's the reason. That's why they're not realizing the obvious truth. They are just swallowing this baloney wholesale, so they're in cahoots. The Bilderbergs, you know, the Illuminati, something like that's going on. And everybody's involved except me. No, everybody is not in the Illuminati.
Cause could he be a plant? Could he really be a plant? Could he be somebody that's actually on the left and like fucked up his life so much in pursuit of being a long-term troll? Could he be a Poe? Like, is he in deep cover to go along with the deep bullshit that he's putting out? I don't know. Maybe.
And the normies are not part of some big cabal. They're just slow. They're just slow. They're just, you know, running to keep up with just the things that are going on, the regular things going on around them. You spring on them something that you realize, and they're going to freak out. They're not going to know how to handle it. And so, my point, smart guys are so far ahead of other people. And that's the biggest problem. The problem of being so far ahead and communicating the conclusions that you've arrived at to the normies so that they can understand. I mean, like, you're here, the normie is here, but you ran so far ahead because you saw the implication of some action going on today. And you ran so far ahead and you see that implication, and you take that implication and bring it back to the normie, and you know, you want to explain it to him, right? But what happens is that it takes the normie a lot of time.
Okay. I just don't know with this guy. Like really, what is his deal? What is his shit that he's actually saying? Because like some of this shit, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like some of this stuff, like if I was actually in his audience, I would Mamba. Oh shit. I would actually feel some kind of way, like, dude, like, yeah, this motherfucker's talking to me. But this motherfucker, like, literally, it just seems he doesn't know if he's gonna go between insulting his audience or like building them up. And it's just like I heard the whole thing that he was actually doing this because he had a son. He wanted to relay his videos to his life through his son. But like some of this shit is just bullshit. Like, yes, we all feel like if you've actually worked a fucking job and you actually had to deal with people that you felt were less than ideal with the whole intake of information in the way that you're not used the way you're used to. Yeah, I get it. I can see why people would actually have that whole thing. But we all face our struggles in some kind of way, dog. But no, that's not Coach Red Pill. He thinks that he is smart. He is the brightest and best. But let's continue.
Time to rev up to that velocity that you're cruising at on a regular basis. You see what I'm saying? So the only cure for this is patience. Patience on your part, on the smart guy's part. You got to realize that the normie is just not as fast. They don't realize the implications of what's going on. They don't realize that if they do this today, tomorrow X will happen, and X will be very detrimental or beneficial, as the case may be. I mean, like, for instance, to give you a simple example, when I started seeing the whole, how do we call it? The little pandemic, that little.
It's not a. Oh my God. Is he becoming like a anti-pandemicer? What the fuck? Let's continue.
Thing that's going around the world right now, right? I started seeing it in China in January of this year.
Did he just unironically do a fucking imitation of Trump's China virus thing? Let's continue.
I think I could pinpoint it like January 20th, around there, that week. And I saw what was coming because the Chinese had shut down the Johnson & Johnson factory and the Apple factory. And I started telling everybody around me. And I was working at that time at WeWork, like an office sharing place. And there were a lot of other people there. And they were very interesting people and very nice people. And I was telling them the implications of what was going to happen. They looked at me like I was on drugs. They looked at me like I was insane. And I was saying, this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is serious, wake up, wake up. And they were all like, what the hell is the matter with this?
Okay, so, yeah, Yeah. Okay. Everybody was saying that shit. There were people actually saying that shit going back, like, I don't know, even before that time in November, December. What you said wasn't exactly special. And notice he said at the end of January, after fucking Congress was briefed on the shit and they put out some shit saying that, yeah, this will be a problem. But, Coach Red Pill is like the man and shit, right? Fucking let's continue.
This guy, right? And I would try to explain it. And I caught myself several times because I was so in the moment, excited and whatnot, that, I didn't slow down and come down to their level and explain bit by bit, step by step, what these things implicated. When I managed to do that, of controlling myself, of having the patience to explain, then they got it. Then they nodded along. Then they were like, oh yeah, that seems possible. And then later, I'm the big hero, but you have to understand, you have to slow down.
Like, really? Oh, God. Really? How? Oh my God. Like, how do you think that how does he think he's Nostradamus with this shit? Where he literally had all the information saying that this shit is going on. And by the way, hi Jill, my son Dre. Oh Jill, thank you for coming and watching the channel. Thank you. Thank you for giving me your views and your watch time. Baby Jill, I just want to gel all over you. I want to gel all over your backside and gel all over your face and gel all over you're just you. Thank you for watching, Jill. Let's continue.
You have to be patient and you have to explain step by step by step. You can't afford to jump steps as you usually do because the normies, they can't make those leaps. They need to go step by step by step. Yeah, and that's insofar as your peers are concerned. Insofar as anybody who's superior to you, oh my God, it's going to be a nightmare, okay? And so with a superior who's going to be very intimidated by anybody below him, you, who's smarter than him, is going to be intimidated and feeling very...
Hey, remember we were talking about earlier in this video that capitalism is about, socialism and communism is about not having superiors, not having a stringent power station. Power structure, hierarchy. This is a reason why, because motherfuckers like them who thinks that he is superior or inferior to motherfuckers perpetuate this myth that people actually have a rank, which is bullshit. But let's continue.
Insecure, you got to handle the guy with kid gloves. That's a fact, okay? All of my life, I have seen smart guys, myself included, mishandle superiors. In school with the teacher who was sort of like a slowpoke because
Of course he thinks that people are inferior to him. Of course he does. Of course he fucking does. Because he has no idea of how, it's the Dunning. Coach Red Pill is the Dunning-Kruger effect if it was a YouTube video. He doesn't realize how stupid he is because he's too stupid to realize it. But let's continue.
He's a teacher, man. Come on. What, if he's a big brain, he's out on Wall Street or Silicon Valley or wherever the hell, right? But no, he's teaching. So what does that tell you?
Wait, some people don't want to be in Wall Street or making tons of money. Some people actually have a love of teaching. But I guess Coach Red Pill wouldn't do that because his only love is for himself. To quote the Avatar, the last airbender comic book, Smoking Shadow, Coach Red Pill is a small man that has no room in his heart for his siblings, his spouse, his children, or maybe not even himself, because he thinks himself so superior. But let's continue.
Not the sharpest knife in the drawer, and you're way ahead of him. And what happens? You alienate him. Yeah, you alienate him. That happens all the time. And
oh, by the way, and to Jill in my chat, thank you, Jill. You would only know that from watching my PragerU video. And I want to thank you also for giving me that watch time in my PragerU video. Go ahead. Thank you. Hit. Matter of fact, for everybody, including Jill, hit that follow button if you're watching on Twitch or Facebook, and hit that like and subscribe. I would. Oh, and also hit that notification bell. They can go ding ding, like Jill wishes for my boss to go over his face. But anyway, let's continue.
With a boss, same thing. And especially when you're young and you're starting your career or business or whatever you're doing, and there's somebody above you, and you are much more capable than they are, then the problem becomes, how to handle them. How to handle them in a way that doesn't antagonize them.
God damn it. Oh, wow. Look at him. Look at him. I didn't think there was magic in real life, but look at Coach Red Pill using that, projection spell on himself. Oh, God damn it. Like, we literally have video of him talking to somebody, and he is, like, resentful of them. I think it was, like, on a call-in channel. It was on a Discord channel, and I don't know if Wajida is still in the chat where he can actually find that video and just link it to where he was just dismissive as shit to somebody in the chat because Coach Red Pill didn't know how to answer the fucking question. Or, was it him? Was it him in Destiny? Two fucking motherfuckers who doesn't know how to fucking wash their mouth. But, let's continue.
Yeah, that's why most people despise brainiacs who show off that they're brainiacs. People don't mind when some guy who's very athletic shows off.
Damn, like he is really going full town on I fucking hate it. People who think they're better than us. What the fuck? Oh, okay.
That you can run the quarter mile in whatever, right? There they don't mind. But they really mind when somebody shows off how smart they are. When somebody rubs their noses in it. See? Because, like a physical ability, the ability to run really fast, it's part.
So, okay. So, let's talk about this. Coach Red Pill doesn't mind physical abilities, showing how well or how much more of a gap that somebody may have over him. But what really grinds his gears when somebody show that they're more intelligent. Like, come on, guy. Like, come on. Like, it sounds as if you have a thing where you're deficient in it, but you can't pinpoint exactly why. But all of a sudden, you just really, really mad when they show off that they're more proficient with intelligent shit than you are. But let's continue.
Part training and part genetics, right? But you get to a certain age, they're not going to run any more faster than you currently are, right? But people aren't really intimidated by that. They sort of applaud it. But brains is different. Brains is a quality that really pisses people off. You rub their noses in the fact that you're way ahead of them, and they're going to despise you. And
this sounds so projecty, and I know I just made up a word, projecty.
First chance they get, they're going to trip you up. And then they're going to point and laugh and say, oh, well, you're not so smart now, are you? I know. You see, I fucked you over and you didn't even realize I was going to fuck you over. Ha ha. That's what they're going to do. So you got to handle people. Simple as that. You got to handle them. Yeah? Because this is a product of envy. It's a product of envy and resentment. It's what happens when you bump up against a ceiling. Some people.
God damn. Okay. I'm done. I'm done for the night, guys. I'm fucking tired. Been looking up fucking Bright community.
What do you think that these executives are afraid you're going to do to white America?
Probably stop some racism.
Stop racism?
Yeah. I'm probably afraid of that because then people don't hate each other. Then people start talking to each other, and then they start talking to each other. They find out who's the problem.
Which is?
Greedy people.
Greedy people. I have a couple things I want to ask you there. Do you really think that some of the guys that you dealt with at NBC, no names, right? Because there's lawsuits for that too, that some of these guys really want to promote racism actively, or is it a subconscious?
I just think it's part of capitalism, is to promote racism, right? In order to make things work. If you feel better because you're white and you can get a job, you use that. I mean, you know, I would.
Absolutely.
Say, I'm sorry, Jack, but shit, they say I'm white. I'm gonna use
Yeah,
this.
right. Absolutely.
Get this job. I'm hungry. You know, but and that separates people. So they keep people separated, and that keeps them from thinking about the real problem. That's as simple as I see it. Probably it's not that simple, but.
Now, all right, you and I are about the same age, right? We're in our mid-30s. How long is it going to take before guys who think like you, and I say guys who think like me, people who don't want to have racism in the country, people who don't want to be oppressing any minority, whatever it is, sexual, whatever minority, really get into positions of power and can change things?
You can't get in a position of power, it seems, if you think like that. It seems that the only time you get in a position of power is if you're like the people that are in power. To me, I mean, that's the way it goes. I mean, people that get to become executives become like the people that were already executives.
I don't know, maybe...
They go in with good intentions, but it eats them up. It's like a cesspool, you know, it just gets on you and it starts
the system
eating.
levels them.
Pretty soon it's
Is
all
that
gone.
what a cesspool sounds like?
Yes.